So, portless phones. I think it's probably something we want, but is it something you need? I'm Rio Gian and welcome to the channel. When you go back to the time when phones removed the headphone jack, I was pretty mad back then. The car that I have didn't have Bluetooth. Now, I know those are audiophiles that would prefer to still use the aux. But with the new car having Bluetooth capabilities, I'm slowly okay with no headphone jack. But back then, during my college days, I would listen to music while studying, and I would often use those cheap headphones that asked the regular port. If I was in college now and my phone doesn't have a headphone jack, I think I'd be slightly annoyed or very annoyed if I didn't bring the dongle with me. Now, I'm sure the argument would be to get wireless headphones, but sometimes those don't connect right away and you end up playing a loud sound and you get the stares of death from people around the library. I see that happening to people and I do not want to be that guy. The interesting thing that the time of the video, I still have my Note 9, which has headphone jack, and I think the Note 9 is the last true Note phone, but that's in another video. Look, I know why Apple wanted to remove the port, so that they can sell the magnetic charger, or they would include a magnetic charger with the phone depending on how they want to do it. I know that either most of us having some kind of wireless charging, so there's probably the people that are watching the tech videos. For like regular people, I think they use wireless charging when they have a chance, or better yet, they don't even know that their phone has wireless charging. When it comes to removing the charging port, I think it takes away a certain level of convenience factor similar to removing the headphone jack. When the headphone jack was removed, you didn't have the ability to buy regular cheapo headphones, or you could if you have the dongle with you. The dongle is another item that you have to carry with you, and it can be another item that you can potentially lose when you're out and about, assuming that COVID is over by the time you watch this video. When it comes to removing charging ports, you lose the convenience of having a USB-C and a plug to charge your device. Now, I know that people would use the argument of carrying a magnetic charger with you, but I think it's easier to ask if there's a USB-C cable than there's a magnetic charger, assuming that we're not at the point where magnetic chargers are the norm. When I watch MKBHD's video, I see a lot of people commenting Apple is creating a problem than selling you a solution. I actually agree on this comment because if you think about it, when you buy a smartphone, you would get the whole package. I remember when I first bought the Note 9, I knew that it came with a charger, a USB cable, headphones, and a case. So I feel like I'm having the complete experience when buying the phone. In future, when buying a phone, I feel like people are getting a base device and then having to buy a DLC, headphones, chargers if they didn't include it in the box, charging brick if you didn't already have one, and a case, which most phones don't come with a case, so I guess we can overlook that. I hate to say this, but the more we move forward, the more I feel like we're being ripped off because these are things that we didn't have to buy before. I know they used the e-waste defense, but I remember the best solution that MKBHD did was that include the option to remove it to save money. Like, this totally makes sense because if you're an existing user and you already have most of the stuff like charging brick headphones, then it would make sense for you to remove them to save money. If you're a new user to the ecosystem, then I think you would want all of those things, and being nickel and dime never feels good. Another thing for me is that I am a emulator gamer, so I play a lot of old retro games on my phone and I use them with the Xbox One controller. I'll go more into that in a later video. Anyways, the important thing for me is that I need to transfer files often from my computer to my SD card, which is another thing that they're trying to remove in order to upsell you a higher storage device. I need to have USB access and I will need a port to connect the phone to my computer to transfer games from SD card for me to play with them. With the removable USB port, or remove the USB ports, I would lose the ability to do that, and that would be an instant deal breaker for someone like me that likes to play retro games because most games on the phones are filled with microtransactions. I think most people moving forward to a portless phone is something that people are not going to be happy with in the beginning, then slowly tolerate to the point where it's a norm. As of now, I think people are just like that with the headphone jack. I wouldn't be surprised if history repeat itself. It just sucks for people like me who wants to keep things, and I know it's Apple doing the changes, but other phone manufacturers will soon copy them like they did with the headphone jack. At the end of the day, when it comes to business, Apple is really good because they are creating a problem then selling you a solution. This is a really good business model because this is how they can generate profit, assuming that people will stay loyal to them, which they are. So I can see why they're doing this business model. Anyways, if you're new, click subscribe, like, thumbs up, click the bell for more content. You guys stay awesome.